Views expressed by Casters Guild members are only the opinions of that member, and that could change from day to day. Guild members may use mature language, but that in no way means they are mature. Listener discretion is advised.
Applaud the bad CGI in the new Power Rangers movie. Get your wallet ready for some new games coming out, and hide those new magic cards before Hasbro hires some mercenaries, because that's the spell we're casting tonight on Casters Guild. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Casters Guild. I'm your Guildmaster Rick the Glass Cannon Perry.
And I'm your Guildmaster Baron Kane Tank, looking for group.
And we have something crazy that I feel like we need to talk about right away. Because it has been all over my TikTok feed, all over my social medias, and it definitely wasn't on my 2023 bingo card.
Yeah, apparently, and this is the way I heard it, is someone brought the bad guys from Red Dead Redemption 2 to life. Pulled them out of the game and made them real and set them loose into the world.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
Crazy.
So yeah, for those of you who may not have known, because a lot of people I've talked to didn't, if you've ever played Red Dead Redemption 2, you have the Pinkertons, who are the bad guys in that game. They are based off of an actual historical group of people, a group of assholes, I should say. Their specialty was union busting, and they still exist to this day, and they're still pretty shitty people. So let me break down what happened.
Please do.
As succinctly as possible. That way we can spend plenty of time ranting about it. A lot of what I'm going to say here comes from a Kotaku article, so definitely go check them out if you want more details. But a YouTuber who goes by the name of Old School MTG basically went and bought a booster box from his friendly local game store.
That was my nickname in high school, by the way.
Booster box or friendly local game store?
Booster box.
Nice.
Thank you.
And apparently when he got the booster box, he got some cards that weren't supposed to be released for like another 2 or 3 weeks. So what does Dan the Man do other than go ahead and open them on his YouTube channel? Because why wouldn't you if you got early products?
So let me guess. He got them, he opened them, he got good views, he hugged his wife, and they went to bed that night.
I'm assuming that's exactly what happened. Pet his dog, hug his wife. Yeah.
Right.
But a certain set of wizards from the coast saw this video, were not happy about him having early cards.
Let's be clear. Hasbro.
Yeah.
Hasbro. I'm sure wizards may have had something to do with it, but I need to, in this dystopian world where corporations rule, I want to be very clear who the fucking parent corporation here is.
Okay, well then BlackRock saw the video.
There we go.
Oh my god. Okay, so Hasbro saw the video and didn't like the fact that they had these cards early, so they hired the fucking Pinkertons as a private detective company to go and seize the cards. Basically kicked down this man's door, threatened him with jail time, had his wife crying, scared the shit out of his dog. I don't know. I mean, technically anyone can make a citizen's arrest, and then if you can prove that they were doing something illegal, then they could get jail time. So, I mean, technically, yes.
Okay.
I don't know. And I know that, like, actual private investigators, like private detectives, do walk a line between civilians and law enforcement, but I don't know what all the laws are surrounding that. Regardless of whether or not it was technically legal, it's still a shitty tactic. You are not law enforcement going and seizing these cards. You are a private organization hired by a corporation.
Private police, if you will.
Yeah.
You know who else is a private police company? Lone Star from the hit game Shadowrun. They're a bunch of nice guys.
Oh my god. So...
Stand up, fellas.
Yeah, they scare this man's wife half to death, have her crying. They scare this man's dog half to death. They scare him half to death. Take a bunch of cards that he purchased legally, by the way. Like, if anyone broke the law here, and I don't even know if you can call it breaking the law, it'd be the store that released the cards early.
And yes, it would be. It would be.
Yeah.
Because those stores enter into contracts on when to release stuff. Like, I remember when I was my friendly local game store, I had to make that agreement that I didn't release these.
Right.
Now, he got these from a friendly local game store, right?
I'm going to double check the article, but that was my understanding.
I was kind of hoping he got them from Walmart, but because then I could hate that corporation even more.
Right. Okay. So he bought them from a trading card dealer, but when he did, is he ordered March of the Machine, and he got March of the Machine Aftermath. So he ordered a set that was already out, but got a set that wasn't out.
Oh, but well, still though, trading card dealer.
He says he noted that his card dealer is more of a Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh guy, and probably just sold them thinking they were some sort of collector's edition. That, like, he didn't realize the mistake that he was making.
Anyways, still.
So yeah,
I do think it's funny though. I don't know if I think you're probably about to go over this, but they apologized.
Yeah.
I like how they were able to send agents to his house, but they called to apologize.
Yeah, they couldn't call him and be like, "Hey, cease and desist." Like, they couldn't be like, "Hey, can you take the video down? Hey, can you..." But no, like, WotC confirmed over email that the private detectives had been sent as part of their investigation, quote unquote, part of their investigation. So it's difficult to know 100% who's responsible for each part, because it could have been that Hasbro didn't know that these were the tactics that the private detectives they hired were going to use. But at the same time, they're the fucking Pinkertons. Do some fucking research. Realize the people that you're hiring. It was probably just an ignorant mistake on the car dealer's part. Didn't realize they were breaking street date. I don't think that old school MTG, Dan Cannon, made any mistakes here. Like, I feel like he was completely within legal... Like, everything he did was completely legal.
Yeah.
And I think anybody who got a set before it was supposed to be released would probably be like, hey, look at these awesome freaking cards.
Right. Unless they were considering those cards stolen by, like, say, the dealer.
Right.
Because even if you buy stolen goods, you're complicit.
Right.
But it's still bullshit. It's still bullshit.
Right. But as far as I know, like, none of the articles I've read on it have said the cards were stolen. Just that they were released before street date.
Which, again, is a stupid thing to get upset over.
Yeah.
To go to those extremes.
Right.
Now, granted, I don't think that... Like, I'm not a fan of the Pinkertons. I'm just going to say that right out. But they're definitely not using the same tactics that they did, back in the 1800s.
Sure.
But they have... I think any private police company, I'm going to be fucking grossed out about. Anyways.
Right.
I mean, I would say that I'm not a big fan of any police force, especially given the modern times. There are definite complications with the relationship between cops and the public. But then you throw into account a private company who probably gets away with a lot of shit because they're not on the books officially, like with the government, which they, can't be federally.
They don't have to follow all the same regulations. They don't have to have anywhere close to the same amount of training. They can't be held accountable necessarily by the government because they don't work for the government. I mean, technically they do have to follow laws, just like the rest of us have to follow laws. But as we all know, any law that can be paid by a fine isn't a law if you have the money to pay the fine.
Right. Yep. Ugh. Anywho, I know the guy said that I guess he's cool with it now or whatever, but...
So essentially what happened was the Pinkertons told him, Like, when he was like, hey, what's going on? The Pinkertons told him to call WotC. And we're like, if you want to get this settled, like, we're just here to seize the cards. If you don't give us the cards, you're looking at fines and jail time. If you want to get this sorted out, call WotC.
And WotC couldn't call him.
Right. So he called WotC. WotC apologized, said that it was part of an investigation. The Pinkertons, by the way, when they were threatening him, they threatened him with citations with punishments up to a $200,000 fine and up to a decade of jail time. Right.
With what authority, sir?
They said that they were going to get the county sheriff involved. And if the county sheriff got involved, that the statutes that were being violated could have those types of punishments. So apparently he called them. They apologized. They sent him some new product that was worth more than what he paid for the product that he wasn't supposed to have. But you know what? On the good side of things, if he's okay and everything is okay, then you know what? Good for him. He got more product than what he paid for, and he's a YouTuber who now no doubtably has more than doubled his audience, or more than that. Like, you know, go him. I hope you get something good out of the terrible thing you've been put through.
Mm-hmm. I hope Wizards keeps trying to make it up to him.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that, you know, one day he's like, you know what? I'm feeling kind of bad about Wizards today. Or, you know what? I kind of want to go out someplace nice to eat. I'm going to email Wizards and be like, you know what? I think I'm feeling not okay with your apology anymore.
I hope that he gets invited to all the events. I hope he gets the early release of all the sets. Like, I hope he becomes, like, an actual Wizards paid influencer at this point.
Yep. Pay the man.
Mm-hmm.
Pieces of shit. Really happy that we have all the books we're ever going to need.
Right?
Really happy about that.
I think we were talking earlier this season about how I was conflicted about purchasing future product from Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro. Like, I was really conflicted about it because, like, I love this game. You know, in the past, they've been pretty good about a lot of things. They've had their missteps, but, you know, there were other companies that were way worse. I'm not conflicted anymore.
Nah.
I'll say that.
No conflict.
I'm not saying I'm not going to play D&D anymore, but like you were saying, I'm glad I have everything I need to play D&D and never have to spend another $1.
Yep, I'm set. I'm good. And not only that, there's way too many other cool little indie games and stuff coming out for me to even worry about. I don't even need to worry about big name fucking develop. I could never play. I love White Wolf, but I could never play White Wolf again and be fine.
Right.
I could never play Wizards and be fine. I could never play Paizo and be fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine. It's like, as far as I'm concerned, what Hasbro's doing is making the rest of these corporations look bad to me.
Yeah.
It's just getting to the point where it's just like, you know what? Indie gamers, I'm in.
Yep.
Fuck it. You got an LLC? I don't care. You're just trying to keep yourself from getting screwed over.
Mm-hmm.
You're a multi-company corporation?
Any company that has anything to do with vertical integration, like, automatically is like, all right, maybe not you.
I don't know. I feel like if you're not on the ladder, you're just being taken advantage of. And even then, sometimes.
Yeah.
Most times.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But speaking of new indie game systems coming out, does this qualify as indie when we say that Critical Role is coming out with their own systems?
I don't think so.
No?
I wouldn't say it counts as indie anymore, no.
Mm-mm.
However, am I excited? Yes.
Yeah.
I want to be clear, I'm excited if Paizo puts stuff out.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if I never have to play it again, I'm fine, because there's way too much in the pool right now for me to swim in. Just
right.
saying. Critical Role putting out their new system, 2 new systems, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
So you are a bigger Critical Role fan than I. What do you know about these systems?
Okay, so one of them is more for short form gaming. The other one is more for like longer campaign stuff. That's all I really got from the little trailer that they put out. I don't know if they talked any more about it or if anybody is like released some stuff from it, but that's pretty much what it boils down to. And if I had to guess, it's probably for, people who are just there for the combat,
Gotcha.
or versus people who are trying to push on through to years and years of a game.
Right.
I know which one I prefer, but let me see if I can get some more info on that. Okay, so based off of what I could find, really wasn't hard. Just found this in a forum.
Mm-hmm.
2 new RPG systems. One is Illuminated Worlds, optimized for short story arcs. I mean, that could mean a lot of things. I think a lot of people are just going to be like, of course, then again, I don't know what they mean by short.
Right.
Is this a month-long campaign and then we're done?
Or these one-shots?
And it's adaptable to a myriad of settings, apparently. Their words.
Sure. Any good system is, really.
Right. So they're probably saying that we're not developing a world for this.
Right.
This is just a way to play a game. And then Daggerheart, again, their words, a, quote, fresh take on fantasy RPGs with emphasis on longer campaigns and rich character options, end quote. So that just sounds like, oh, we're coming out with a whole new game system with a whole new world, all this other stuff. They're not even probably not even going to be focusing on, I think it's going to be a fantasy RPG. So, I guess we could speculate on, what racial backgrounds and stuff that they're going to have in there, and what other stuff.
It sounds like it's more of a story driven.
Oh, absolutely.
Like you were saying at the beginning, it sounds like the short form one's probably a little bit more combat driven, and like this longer form one's probably a little bit more story driven. I was looking through the Avatar role playing books recently because I'm going to be running a game of the Avatar tabletop role playing game system, and it's entirely based around each individual character's character arc. Like, okay. It's a whole lot less about the combat and more about, okay, well, what arc is this character attempting? What is the player attempting to give this character? And, like, there is a system based off of moves you make toward that arc and moves that detract from that arc. So, obviously, extremely story-driven. So, it sounds like Daggerheart will probably have mechanics that more lean toward the story being driven forward versus just, hey, do you hit the bad guy? How many hit points do they have? That sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm. And you know that they've... How busy are these fuckers? Because the group had to have playtested this.
Yeah.
That they're doing their main game. Mm-hmm. That they're doing other games.
Yep. That one of them was training for a boxing match.
One of them was training for a boxing match. 4 of them are parents. One of them with a brand new baby.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing the amount of gaming you can get done when it's your job. Not discounting the fact that they are getting done a crazy amount of stuff.
Oh, wait, hold on. And then we have to throw in their day job.
Right. That's true. That's very true.
Voice actor. Jesus. Which, I mean, I'm sure that they've slacked off quite a bit on.
Yeah, they're probably not doing as much voice acting work now as they were.
But
maybe they're doing more. I don't know.
But you still have Matt Mercer stepping up and doing the voice of Ganondorf.
Yeah, that had to be a big project.
Yeah. Well, why I say that? I say that they must have slacked off on voice acting to do all their Critical Role shit, like the gaming and the cartoon that they did, and the one they did the voices for. Got it. Okay. All right.
They slacked off on their voice acting to do more voice acting.
Yeah. Yep. They've mixed their day job and their night job.
Mm-hmm.
Can we call that, like, when you're making money off of your hobbies, can we call that your night job?
Yeah, absolutely.
Guild decree.
Which reminds me, okay, this has nothing to do with anything, but I thought of this guild decree in between episodes, and I just need to do it now while I have a guild decree to burn.
Okay.
If you're running a tabletop RPG and you create an NPC that your players fall in love with, we all know the trope. You have the NPC that you weren't planning on doing anything with, and your characters fall in love with it. From now on, that NPC is known as a Jarnathan.
Okay.
Guild decree.
Guild decree. I thought you were going to be like, guild decree, you're not allowed to kill them. It's like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. 1 second.
No, I mean, that's almost a requirement.
Yeah.
Like, you got to kill that NPC eventually. You got to break some hearts.
The DM absolutely just tried to kill Jonathan in that first episode.
Yes.
The first game they tried to kill Jonathan. You know what? That's a question. How about this? This is the question.
Mm-hmm.
The movie, the D&D movie, was that just one whole game, like one little campaign, or the flashbacks? Were the flashbacks a separate game? You know what I mean? Not same players, but were they? They did a full like little campaign and then they like stopped for a little while, or were the flashbacks just part of the backstory that the characters wrote?
That's how I interpreted it. I interpreted it as like the flashbacks being backstory, and when they actually did flashback, that's the players sitting around at the table telling the backstory.
Gotcha. I would like to imagine it as everything that happened before the prison. That was the group playing. It was, and to be clear, I think it was 5 players. You ready? 5 players. One was, I don't remember the names of any of them. Chris Pine's character, Michelle Rodriguez's character, and then Hugh.
The rogue who became the big bad.
Right. The wizard, or the sorcerer, and then the wizard. No, the wizard was not a player character.
Right.
It was just the 4. Right? They did all this stuff, but then found out, hey, our buddy's getting deployed, or hey, my buddy has to go, they have to go off and do something.
Or that campaign fell apart because of that campaign fell apart because the rogue became quote unquote that guy.
Right. So they took a break, started it up in the prison, which by the way would be a great way to start a game.
Oh yeah, it's a trope. It's a big trope. I mean, like, how many games have started in a prison? I mean, Oblivion did it.
So yeah. So that's them, like, after they've gotten over the heat, and they're like, okay, we can start over. This motherfucker isn't playing, though. And the DM's like, I have the perfect thing for him. So yeah, then they pick up some months later with this game.
I think that makes even more sense that the DM PC showed up, because, like, this is the second campaign that they're having to DM and they don't get to play. So they put in their DM PC.
I think this is what I also think happened, is that wizard that was in the first game was a DM insert. But once dude started going bad, he was like, man, I gotta do something with this. I gotta do something with it. And then, actually, everybody jokes around about the paladin is the GM insert, which he is 100%. And not only is he the DM insert, he's the annoying DM insert.
Oh, 100%.
That comes in, takes over the game, solves all the puzzles for people.
Constantly tone checking. Like that was so the DM tone checking. Like, every time he was like, "Oh, what's that? That doesn't exist." Like, what's that word? What's that phrase? Like, I don't do that.
Yep.
That was so just tone check.
But I would like to think that the true DM insert was the daughter.
Yeah.
That makes it way more wholesome for me.
Yeah.
So because, or even better, you know what? I'm taking it back. It is the child of the guy playing the bard who, shows up when they can. And then when they heard that they were going to do the big bad guy, they let them come in.
Yeah.
And then whenever they were invisible, they were just on their iPad.
Yeah.
Doing their thing.
That makes sense. Yeah. I like that.
We got this game. We got this movie figured out.
We've played this game too much to not recognize
sure.
exactly what's going on behind the scenes.
And I feel so fucking bad because every time, I don't know what it is about that movie, but it's like, I keep thinking, man, I really wish they would have had dragons. Wait, they did.
Yeah. The best dragon.
Dragons. They had 2 different dragons.
Yes, that's true.
And yes, the best dragon.
Thunderchild.
I've been there, Thunderchild. Yeah, that's what I meant.
He's my boy, Thunderchild, man.
He's my boy, Thunderchunk. Thunderchunk. Yeah, I fucking love that dragon. He's the worst. I kind of wish that they would have did that to a good guy dragon, but, whatever. Of course, you know what? I think what I am going to do is I am going to make the good guy version of Thunder Chunk. And his name is probably going to be Thunder Chunk.
Just a big old metallic chonky dragon.
Metallic chonky dragon
Mm-hmm.
that just hangs out behind a tavern. They call him the Tavern Worm.
And
as a nickname.
They just feed him because it means there's a dragon near their tavern and no one dares fuck with the tavern because dragon.
Yep.
Every once in a while they're just like, here's another sheep.
Yep. And that would actually be cool to have this complex economy in that village that is designed to A, feed the dragon, B, keep the tavern stocked, and C, throw a little extra in the hoard for the dragon.
What if the tavern's run by kobolds?
I like it because that also goes into the whole you know what, I'm sure someone's done it by now, but I got tired really early in gaming of kobolds being like the servants of evil dragons. And it's like, why can't we have kobolds just be the servants of dragons
in general?
Right. And they're just molded by the personality of the dragon they're serving.
Mm-hmm. Their skin color already changes based off of their scale color already changes based off the dragon they're serving.
Exactly.
So you have a bunch of shiny kobolds running around.
So, yeah. Yeah, that'd be great. Oh, I think we just came up with the tavern idea.
The shiny kobold.
Oh, I love it. I'm writing it down.
Look out for the Casters Guild tabletop supplement featuring the shiny kobold.
You know what? I'm doing it right here. You ready? New note. You see it?
Yeah.
Note. Casters Guild game tavern. The shiny kobold. Fat metallic dragon sleeping out back. Tavern ran by good kobolds.
Mm-hmm.
Who are also chubby.
Oh yeah, they're definitely like the halflings of kobolds.
I mean, really? Kobolds are the halflings of Dragonborn.
Yeah, that's true.
There we go. My first entry into the notes for our... It's real. It's real. We're taking actual notes now. Well, okay. I'm taking actual notes. I'm sure you've already been taking notes.
Yeah, I have a few, but... Oh, man. But if you like... if you like the way our brains work as we come up with stuff for this book, I have officially put in the application for us to run a table at Upper Cumberland GameCon 2023. No matter what, I'm going to be there running games, so if you want to come play in a game that I run, go ahead and sign up. It's going to be September 1st and 2nd, and Guildmaster Baron is doing everything he can to be there as well.
Yeah, that would be a really, really cool event for us both to be at,
and
meet and greet and everything like that. I mean, I know we don't have thousands of fans or anything like that, but it'd be really, really cool to be able to get out there. And you know what? I'm going to figure something out. I think that if someone comes in, and I know it's going to be risky for you guys, but if you come in, prove to me that you're a drag queen, I'll get you something. I'll get you something nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with the area that convention is taking place, we do want to support you in some way, shape, or fashion.
We don't know how yet. We're not rich.
Yeah.
So we'll try something.
Heck, maybe we could just put you on the cast and let you shout out whatever you want. Or if you don't want to put yourself out there, we'll do something a little bit more discreet.
Yeah, but again, like I said, I know the times, and this definitely has the feelings of a trap. If you don't want to do it, don't do it.
Yeah.
I'm not
absolutely.
gonna have my feelings there. And you come up to us, we're going to be discreet. We won't make a big deal out of it. You're just going to get something from us. Just don't know what it is yet.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can get our hands on some promo cards or some shit like that.
Something.
Maybe I still have some promo cards left over from the store. But yeah. If
nothing else, you'll get something small like a set of dice or
you're
some
getting
stickers.
a hug, regardless.
Oh yeah, no matter what. Well, unless you tell us not to touch you.
Right.
But we're gonna want to give you a hug.
If you're a drag queen and you want up and have you want to come up and get a hug, then we will give you hugs.
Mm-hmm. Give you them big Guildmaster hugs.
We need to figure out how to come up with a set of Casters Guild exclusive dice.
Yeah.
Can't be hard.
There's plenty of dice makers out there nowadays. Yep. Or, like, we could even get our own molds.
Yep. I was thinking about doing that anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No matter what, there's going to be something to get, something to do, some sort of fun to be had at the Casters Guild booth at Upper Cumberland Game Con. And I will also be running games.
Nice.
So you got plenty of time to plan, September 1st and 2nd. And another thing, we've been talking to one of our affiliates, and we're probably going to get some stuff from them too. So why don't you just go ahead and check out their link now. They are T-Villain.
T-Villain is a t-shirt site where you'll find a killer limited edition shirt being sold for $13 only while supplies last. Every Monday, the site features a new design by a new artist. We would tell you what's featured right now, but by the time you hear this, it's already changed.
They choose the most ingenious designs that reflect everything evil and villainy, as well as works pertaining to anything artistic, pulp style, lowbrow, pop culture, TV, movies, music, video games, comics, etc. All things cool and evil, basically. To check them out and help out Casters Guild, click our link in the description.
But yeah, it'll be a good time. Come check us out.
We mean that literally. Wink.
So we talked about it earlier this season, but that Power Rangers Netflix movie finally came out.
Oh, it was so good.
It was everything I expected it to be. Let's put it
perfect.
that way. Yeah. It looked like it was ripped straight out of the 90s.
Oh, really?
The acting, the sets, the CG.
And I think that
it had the exact same. The CG had the exact same quality as the Power Rangers movie when it came out, like the Ivan Ooze Power Rangers movie when it came out. I was watching it with Tiffany, and I was like, "Do you think when the animators started making the CG for this show, they showed it to the showrunners, and they were like, okay, this is what we got. What do you think?" And they went, "No, it's too good.
Dumb it down.
It's too good. It needs to look like it's from '93."
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the big reasons why that new, like the Power Rangers reboot that they tried, I think that's why it didn't work for me.
Yeah.
You know, because they were trying too hard.
Sure.
It's just never going to. Like, they still have Power Rangers going on right now, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just not. There's always some new team with some new theme.
Yeah, we're at what, Power Rangers Mighty Chef Cook-Off.
In all seriousness, I believe it's Galactic Force now or something like that. Like, they're in space and like they're protecting galaxies from like this evil
Galactic Chef Cook-Off. Got it. And then whenever somebody bites into their food, they have an orgasm and their clothes fly off. Am I getting my shows mixed up?
Yeah, Food Wars.
Fuck. All right.
These guys, their clothes fly on, like, you know, the Ranger suit.
Got it.
You know, it's
okay. That's where it was. I'm getting that mixed up so hard.
That's what they do on Food Wars. They get it mixed up so hard.
Yeah, they do so hard and creamy. Oh. It tastes so good in my mouth.
But yeah, the whole time Tiffany was like, "This is so bad," and I was like, "It's bad because you're expecting something from like today. Like, this is exactly what it was like in the '90s, in the mid '90s. Like, this is exactly what I want it to be."
Yeah, that's what we needed. That is absolutely what we needed. We didn't need. Yeah, the only people I think that aren't going to appreciate it are perhaps, maybe, and I'm not even saying 100% sure on this, are the, you know, people who are growing up now and seeing the state of things and the effects in movies, and, you know, maybe they were expecting something else, but it's like, nah, dog.
It's not the target audience.
Nope. So yeah, I'm glad they kept it dumb.
Yeah. So another cool thing that came across my social media feed, and you know how I am about my Funkos. You know, the massive collection of Funko Pops that I own.
You have Funko Pops?
He says as he looks at my camera with like 100 Funko Pops behind me.
I see nothing.
But the same people who made the Lego games, which if you've ever played them, are fantastic games. The same people who made the Lego games are now making a Funko game called Funko Fusion. And it looks like it's going to have a lot of cool properties in it. Marvel, Umbrella Academy, a lot of really cool stuff. And it's just going to be a whole video game where you play as Funko Pops.
Look, if this is the way that I get to play a Umbrella Academy game, then I'm in.
Right.
I realize that it's a Funko Pop game, but as long as I'm playing as number 5, it's an Umbrella Academy game.
Right. And that is one of the characters they show in the trailer for the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's one of the main characters they show is number 5. So
nice.
Yeah, and I like I said, I don't know if you've ever played any of the Lego games, but I've never been disappointed by any of them. Lego Star Wars, Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, Lego Lord of the Rings. I even like Lego Dimensions. So if they're making it anything like those games, I'm in. Not to mention Funko games in general, they come out with good shit.
Funko Games does?
Mm-hmm.
What other games does Funko put out?
Horrified, for example.
I guess I never knew that Funko was putting out games.
Mm-hmm. Well, to be fair, certain Funko games, like Horrified, for example, they don't have any Funko Pops in them. Like, they're not... Mm-hmm. They made a Goonies game. There's, of course, Funkoverse, which is, like, the only Funko game that actually does have Funko Pops in it. They're, like, little Funko Pops that are used as the characters.
Oh, no.
They're responsible for a lot of the Disney games, like the Haunted Mansion game.
I straight up, in this trailer, saw Jimmy Buffett get spat on by a Dilophosaur. Straight in the face.
Yeah. It's a thing that happens.
Oh, he's carrying martinis in this one. I think he had margaritas in the movie. If anybody didn't know, Margarita Man in Jurassic World. Wait, that was Jurassic World, right? The one with Chris Pratt?
Yes.
Margarita Man is actually Jimmy Buffett.
Let's see.
I guess they had to give him martinis.
They made a Back to the Future game. They made a Parks and Recreation game. Like I said, Horrified. I'm trying to find it on the list here, but I know they made a game called Horrified that's all based off of like classic movie monsters.
Guildmaster Rick here with a quick correction. I say several times here that Funko made Horrified. Horrified was made by Ravensburger. I'm not sure what the horror game by Funko was I was thinking of, but I apologize. Go check out some of Funko's games that they actually made, and Horrified by Ravensburger is pretty good too.
And when I'm saying the games, by the way, I'm talking about tabletop games.
Oh, okay, sorry. I was thinking I knew they had tabletop games, but I thought you were talking about
No, they've made a ton of good tabletop games, but I think that's why they're letting the people who made the Lego game handle the making of the video game because that's not what they do. They make quality toys and tabletop games.
The It references are terrifying.
Yes.
Terrifying.
Yes.
Criminy. This is not okay.
Baron already not a fan of the game just based off of the trailer.
Boycotting it. Canceling it. Jesus.
But as long as we're talking about games that are coming out, we already said this last time, but Tears of the Kingdom is right around the corner, and I could not be more excited for it.
Yeah, that's the Zelda one, right?
Yes.
I'm not excited about the $70 price tag.
Right. But you do know the workaround for that, right?
Yes. Is it not Steal It?
No. Okay.
Oh.
So, Nintendo has a program, if you don't mind buying your games digitally, Nintendo has a program where for $100, you can buy a voucher that gets you 2 digital games. Okay.
So, like $50 a game then.
Yeah. So if you buy a $60 game, like one of the big Mario titles, and then Tears of the Fallen Kingdom, you just saved yourself $30.
Right.
If you have a Sam's Club or Costco membership, you can go buy like $100 Nintendo gift card, like a Nintendo eShop gift card, for like $80 to $90.
What?
Yeah, it's always been a thing at Costco and Sam's Club. So you could save yourself another $10 to $20 there.
So you go into Costco or Sam's Club.
Mm-hmm.
Well, of course, then again, you're also paying for a membership.
Yeah, this is why if you already have the membership, I'm not saying go buy membership just to... Now, if it had been a week ago, I would have told you to do that because it was Sam's Club's like 40th anniversary or something like that. And for 1 week, you could get your first year membership for $10. But that unfortunately is over. But yeah, so you buy your $100 card for, let's say, $90, because I'm not sure the exact price of it, but let's say $90. Then you use that $90 to buy the $100 voucher. Then you get $130 to $140 worth of games for what you spent $90 on. Save yourself some money.
It's a lot of math. I'm just going to steal it.
Yo-ho.
Oh, and in case anybody's listening, mark this as the day, a few days after it happened, my son decided to watch the original Star Trek movies with me.
That's awesome. I know he's been digging the original series.
Yeah. I made him a deal. That, he can watch the movies however he wants, but he has to watch at least the first 4 with me.
Okay.
Because that's how I watched them originally, was with my dad.
Oh, very cool.
We watched the first 4. We sat down, sat all day, watched them. So
is that how you're doing them, like movie marathon style?
I think so. I know his attention span is kind of shit, so we'll see how that works. I'll have to make sure that he keeps his phone on him at all times, and probably get pizza and all that fun stuff. So that may be a this weekend kind of thing.
Pizza,
something
popcorn.
tells me Search for Spock is gonna wreck me. Oh.
About that.
I mean, in a way, I think he thinks he's going to see Spock die in this one.
Right.
And it's like, I'm going to let you keep believing that, and then we're going to watch Wrath of Khan.
It's a good thing he doesn't listen to the podcast.
That's right. Wrath of Khan, man, that was a well-utilized movie. Movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and this is kind of new. With everything going on in Star Trek right now, I don't know if anybody watches Strange New Worlds, but the new trailer for Strange New Worlds Season 2 has come out. Looks wonderful. Anyways, I've gotten back into Star Trek Online. If anybody plays Star Trek Online, find me, and we'll hook up. Maybe make a fleet. But the first playthrough that I went through was like a mirror... I'm playing this game for the first time, and it's like my second mission, I go into the mirror universe. I'm like, who the fuck let this happen? Who let this ensign go into the mirror universe with his own ship? This isn't right. But yeah, the storyline for that, I don't really want to give any. I know we're a spoiler light. Like, we don't really care the fuck about spoilers.
Right.
But there's quite a few spoilers. I will say this. Do you know who at least at the beginning of that mission set, do you know who the Emperor of the Mirror Universe was?
I don't.
Wesley Crusher.
Okay. All right.
And Wesley Crusher, after getting the powers from the Traveler, that is the Emperor. So like this, no one is fucking with this guy.
Right. Whew.
But then there is another appearance of an all-powerful being that he tries to merge with. And I'll give you a hint. It's not Q.
It's
just leave it at
not
that.
Q. Okay.
Yeah, it's not Q.
All right.
So yeah, please, if anybody plays, it's a free-to-play game. And I will tell you this, it is not a pay-to-win game.
Oh, that's nice.
It is not. You don't have to put any money into it. You can, because they have some cool stuff.
Is it like all cosmetic?
Not all cosmetic, but mostly cosmetic.
Gotcha.
But yeah, you can get everything you need from just missions. Yeah, I would definitely love the company.
So yeah, go play Star Trek with Guildmaster Baron.
Hey.
Tears of the Kingdom comes out May 12th.
Since Star Wars The Old Republic won't let me go past level 20 because I have to verify my fucking email, and every time I do, they don't do anything about it. Look at it, you Star Wars Old Republic.
Another game came out this month that intrigues me. that I might end up buying, especially if it eventually hits a sale, called God of Rock. And it is a rhythm fighting game. Like, one-on-one Street Fighter style game, but it's also a rhythm game, like a Guitar Hero or a DDR.
So I'm out.
Are you not a rhythm game fan?
Oh, I didn't say that. I'm just not good at them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They're fun, but yeah, I would just get destroyed.
But yeah, it looks really cool. And that came out April 18th. So that's been out for a little while. If it hits a sale, there's a good chance that I'm going to get that one. Let's see. Then, also around the corner is Jedi Survivor.
Oh, that's coming up. Oh, wait.
By the time this episode airs, it will be out.
It will be out.
April 28th, Jedi Survivor hits stores.
I gotta get out on them streets.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, oh, man.
And anyone who's a fan of this podcast knows that we both love that game.
And I still haven't finished the God of War game.
Ragnarok? Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to get on that. That's good game.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to buckle down and just be like, okay, I'm playing this. I'm playing this, and I'm getting through it. I think I'm almost at the end, but I'm just going to get through it. Maybe not be such a completionist. Maybe get down to the brass tacks of the story and, not worry about killing all those green flying ravens. I can always come back to those.
You can get back to them, but you get some cool shit for killing them ravens.
Yeah, I've never been great at being a completionist, but I always try, which makes me playing it way longer. So it's just like, I do love that canonically now Ymir is from Scotland. It's fun.
Yeah.
I thought it was crazy that they gave him a Scottish accent, and then later on it was like, no, I'm from Scotland. It was like, oh.
This explains.
Yeah, I thought it was just them making, we're making a choice right now, and Ymir's going to have a Scottish accent for no reason at all. Nope.
It probably was during the first game, and then they went back and they were like, let's explain this.
Oh, fair.
So, later this year, a game that you've been in the beta for a while is finally getting the full release. Baldur's Gate 3, coming out August 31st.
About fucking time.
It's been in beta for a long time.
It really has been.
How do you feel about Baldur's Gate 3? Because I haven't bought it.
Baldur's Gate is great. It's a good game. But I think that the problem with me is that if I'm going to beta games, I have to take into account that if I quote-unquote beat the game that I have, I'm not going to have any interest to go back and finish the game I haven't beat.
Gotcha.
So I made it to the end of beta, and then they're like, well, now we got a full release. I'm like, well, I don't have any desire to play it anymore.
Because I already quote-unquote beat it, even though there's now new stuff. Yeah, that makes sense.
I give it a shot. I mean, I own it, so might as well, right?
Yeah. Especially, I mean, is there a multiplayer component?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, after the full release, there's a good chance that I'll get it, and we could always jump on there together.
It is very much D&D. Very much. Turn-based. Yeah. It is, again, very much D&D. It's, if you have played D&D with miniatures, that's all this is.
Right. Which I've played a lot of D&D with miniatures. So yeah, I'm down. It's just a matter of, like I said, I wasn't sure if I was going to buy it when it was still in beta, especially with it being a full-priced game, even in beta.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. By August, I might be willing to chill out $60 for it.
Yeah, I mean, it really isn't bad. And, again, maybe if I had someone in there playing with it, but at the same time, I've been having a really hard time getting into games like that because of life. I feel bad when, especially like a game like that where the campaign is relying on people being there. It's like, well, I can't really be there.
Right.
Because I have all this other stuff to do. So, sorry.
No, I completely can relate and understand that.
Mm-hmm. I am interested, though, to go back and maybe going back and trying some of the other races and classes will make it better.
Yeah, absolutely. And it can be one of those things where we're each playing the game individually and just when we happen to be on at the same time.
Sure. Yeah, I think that would work.
I've also been playing Loop Hero lately. That hit the Microsoft Game Pass, PC Game Pass. And I know Loop Hero made, when it first came out, it was a big deal to like a lot of people. Like a lot of people were talking about how good Loop Hero was. And I've been enjoying it. It's almost an AFK type game. You just kind of let it go. And it's almost a game I can play in the background while I'm doing something else. Like while I'm editing this podcast, for example.
Deal. Sorry, I'm looking at this forum. If anybody needs any kind of reminder about how toxic gaming can be, it's like I'm looking at the Baldur's Gate, right? Mm-hmm. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 essentially classes that they are putting into this game. 12 classes. Mm-hmm. First comment on this forum. I know Artificer is an Eberron class, but come on, please give us Artificer. Toxic? No. Fucking, like, really, guy? Really? And then, what about the psionic classes? First off, if you are pining for psionic classes, you're probably a putz anyways.
Yeah. Nothing screams mid-maxer to me more than I really want to play a psionic class.
Fucking people. Nothing's ever good enough. That's what it is. Nothing is ever good enough. Ugh.
You've got all the things, but you didn't include my thing.
Right. Or you included all these things, but let me cherry pick something here to see what I can do to make it seem like this game is inferior. Psionics. You could have picked better, man. You could have picked better. You know what? Hot take. Psionics are lame. Psionics are lame.
I have never included psionics in a game that I've run.
It got hot in AD&D,
yeah.
And that's where a lot of the fucking power gamers started jumping in on it, and it's like, I mean, sure, whatever. Psionics is lame, though. Lame. You probably don't like it because you just... Yeah, probably, but still lame.
Whatever reason you just said, yeah, that's probably the reason.
Exactly. Exactly.
I will say when Fizzbands came out, like, all of the Gem Dragonborns and all of the Gem Dragons have, like, psionic powers. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of neat. I have no problem with somebody playing a Gem Dragonborn and having some psionic powers with whatever class that they are playing.
Sure.
But an entire class based around it, and just my opinion, seems kind of lame.
Yeah, pretty lame.
And like, if your favorite class is psionic and you have a good reason behind it, I'm not disparaging you. Like I said, it's just my opinion.
Hot take. I don't think it's a good reason.
Yeah.
I'm sticking to this. I'm sticking to my guns.
Yeah.
I'm going to be one of those annoying people where you could come at them with a fully fleshed out, valid argument. I'm like, yeah, it's lame. Doesn't make sense. And it's stupid. So you're wrong.
I don't know. I don't know enough about psionics to be that guy. Which honestly should lend more to me being that guy. The fact that I don't know what he thinks about it.
The less you know, the more you can lean into it. But hell yeah, that's my thing. I don't know a lot about them because as soon as I started learning about it, it was lame, and I just stopped.
Yeah.
If I wanted to have psionics, I'll play a superhero game.
Yeah.
Or you know what? Or even better, I will play in a world that has psionics.
Yeah.
Like, that is a cornerstone to that world. I don't think that Forgotten Realms needs psionics. I don't think that Dragonlance needs psionics.
Yeah, it's the biggest reason I've never run a game with them. They feel like they don't fit.
Yeah, no, same. I don't think it doesn't... Yeah, it feels like they're being shoehorned in.
I'm adding Artificers, even though they're quote-unquote an Eberron class. I'm adding Artificers and, like, guns and, like, clockwork machines to my Forgotten Realms before I'm adding psionics. Yeah. Like, I'm just saying, like, this is Forgotten Realms however many thousand years in the future. So, yeah, there's Artificers and clockwork stuff or steampunk stuff and guns. Sure.
And I will say I agree with you, and I'm the guy that will refuse to put guns and shit in his campaign.
Yeah. But you'd do it before psionics.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's another thing. That's another hill I'll die on, are people talking about. And it's like, whatever. And I'm not even mad about it. But what gets me are the people that get fucking pissed when I'm like, no, I don't want guns in my world. Mm-hmm. Well, why not? It makes sense. It's like, I could make an argument that would make it make sense. I know I could. But I don't want them in there.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. People got a hard on for firearms in their fantasy settings. But the Victorian age, I don't give a fuck about the Victorian age. This is not Earth.
Right.
You know what? Gunpowder doesn't exist on my world. There, get fucked. Whoops. Whoopsies.
Become a wizard, shoot your ass a magic missile.
That's right. And again, I will talk shit about the psionics. I'm not necessarily talking shit about people who want guns in their campaign. That's fine. But, I don't know, it gets to the point to where it's like, you know, hey, I'm running this game. These are your choices. And someone's like, you know what? I want to play a character that's nothing like anything that you have right now. I want to play a great old one who also has psionic powers, but is trapped in the body of a human, and he has all his tentacles, and it's like, okay, it's not even close to a choice that I gave you, but we'll make it work. Because if I don't, I'm an asshole.
Right. And, like, it's even worse when, like, you already gave them so many options.
Yeah.
Especially when you consider all the combinations. Like, sure, there's quote-unquote only 12 basic classes. Okay? Only, right?
With at least 3 subclasses per
each
class. But yeah, only 12.
Yeah.
Only 12.
And then those can be combined with how many races? Which...
Even like the base book, you got like, what, 9?
At least, yeah. 8 or 9, I want to say.
8 or 9.
And then, like you said, then there's the 3 subclasses for each class. And then there's how many backgrounds.
Right, exactly. You can do a lot of cool stuff with this box that I have given you.
Mm-hmm.
That's, you know what, that is exactly what it is. It's like, okay, we're having a competition. Make something out of what I give you in this box. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and use this. It's like, no, you lost because you're using something outside of that box that I gave. Oh, you're just being an asshole then.
Yeah.
What? That was the guidelines to this competition. Oh, and this rant actually clued me into another thing that we haven't talked about yet, is people getting up in arms because they are getting rid of half races.
Oh my god. And that's not even what's happening.
I know! They're making it so much better, but...
Yeah.
What? Oh, so funny.
I think
so funny.
I think the biggest backlash was they said, like, the reason they're getting getting rid of half races. Like, I think one of the releases says we're getting rid of half races because the idea is inherently racist. And it's like, I don't know if I 100% agree with that as just like a broad statement, right? Because it sounds counterintuitive. But the reason they're getting rid of half races is because as of right now, every half race assumes half human.
Right. And I think that's what they mean by inherently racist.
Yeah.
Is because, like, for example, it would be the same as if you had a kid who had a white mom and a black dad, and you called him half black.
Yeah.
That you are assuming that white is the default.
Yep.
And he is now just half black, which is not the case.
Right.
But then you have, this, which is, again, implying humans are the default race, which they are kind of... They're the default is, and they're what most people consider the most boring.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So yes, they are making it so that you're not just, a half elf. I mean, I would love to have a D&D world now where you have half elves, half orcs, half whatever, that are all just part human, and they all just call all of them half humans. All of them are just half humans.
I mean, if you have a dwarf that's half human, to the dwarves, they are half human. Like, they look at them and go, you're half human. Like, it's...
Yeah.
But the idea of the new system is you can be half...
Yes.
Whatever.
Yes.
You can be a half dwarf, half elf. You can be half dragonborn, half Goliath. Whatever it is.
Would a half human and a halfling be a 3/4ling?
I would assume.
Okay.
I would assume. Yeah.
Yes.
The very first 5e campaign I ran, I homebrewed a half halfling, half elf for one of my characters. And they didn't even know it for the first part of the campaign. They knew they were a half-elf, but they didn't know who the other parent was. And later on, I revealed that the other parent was a halfling and, homebrewed this new race for them. And the fact that we can just do that now in the rules, it makes sense to me. Obviously, I was doing it already.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's nothing wrong with being more inclusive and homebrewing things or doing things that don't necessarily fit an established campaign so your players can have more fun. But there's also nothing wrong with saying, this is the game we're running, these are the rules that we're trying to fit within. You still have plenty of other options. Let's pick your second favorite thing and play that. Because the character that they're looking to play will fit in another game, either down the line or with someone else. This just might not be the game for them for that character.
Right, exactly.
Every game is not for everybody and for every idea. Like, sometimes there does have to be some sort of limit or restriction.
Agreed. I do believe that people need to be more okay with that, with those restrictions and working within those restrictions.
And not call your DM an asshole just for putting
right
a restriction that you might think is arbitrary.
Right.
I used to get called an asshole just because I wanted to see the character sheets before a campaign. Like, let me see your character sheet and approve your character. Right. Very rarely would I even say anything was wrong. But just the fact that I went, just let me see your character sheet and look it over and approve your character. Why? Like, this kind of a dick thing to do. Like, I made it within the rules. What, you don't trust me? And it's like, look, man, I'm just trying to make sure everything fits the story.
Yeah.
It's not like that I'm on some power trip and I'm like, oh, yes, I have final approval. Like, it's just let me look over your character sheet.
That is the case, though. That is the case.
Yeah.
But, and it's like, if you're just going to be like that, I don't even want you in my game.
Right.
I was like, you know what? I probably would have approved this character. I don't care what you put on it. I probably would have approved it or worked around it.
Right.
But you acting like this means you're not going to get into my game.
Like, even when people would come to me with things that didn't currently exist in my world, or that I felt like a player character shouldn't be playing. Like, let's say, for example, that in a campaign I was running, Dragonborns either don't exist anymore or, like, they're super rare, right? And the player came to me and they were like, I'm playing a Dragonborn. I wouldn't immediately, 9 times out of 10, go, no, you can't play a Dragonborn, we gotta play something else. I'd sit down with them and be like, okay, this is the deal with Dragonborns in my world. Like, they either don't exist or they're super rare. Like, this is what's going on with Dragonborns. Now, together, let's come up with a story reason why you are a Dragonborn. And let's set your expectations about how people are going to react to you, how NPCs are going to react to you when they see you. And knowing that we're going to have to put this extra work into your story, do you still want to play this character?
Right, exactly. I think it's also, you know what, I'm just kind of thinking about this, just a gamer standpoint, especially video games. I almost think it would be cool if, like, a DM would be like, okay, these are the races that are allowed in my world. Now, based off of these races, if you are just starting, or you want a low impact, kind of like a low effort character, I put in air quotes, these are the races you want. Mid-level, go for these races. High level, because, there's going to be a lot of backstory that you have to put into it, a lot of complications, go ahead and go for these races. So you have different tiers of races that you would use to, signify, hey, if you're willing to put that level of commitment and work into it, go for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Human fighter would be like S++ tier.
Because no matter what, you're gonna fit in.
Well, that would be like the character that everybody struggles to make interesting when it's like.
Yeah, that's true.
Human fighters are some of the most interesting characters in the fantasies that I read.
Yes.
But yeah. Oh well.
I've often said that the subclass Eldritch Knight of fighter is the closest thing you get to a solo video game protagonist. Because they have, like, the martial weapons, plus they get, like, spells that you can cast, but, like, it's, more limited, and It's very Witcher or Kratos or, any other video game character where you are the solo hero and you need both melee and spells. So with that, next week we're going to be hitting you guys with another episode of Actually.
Yeah.
So it'll be a little while.
I don't think I'm going to win this one.
So it'll be a little while before you get another standard episode. Was anything else coming out that you were excited about, Baron? That
honestly, I will say that the Jedi Survivor is, like, movie-wise, I mean, the Marvels are coming out here soon. We're kind of like in a lull for everything right now, so.
Volume 3, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
But even that is like another month, isn't it?
No, it comes out the 5th.
Of May?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And I saw another trailer for it that nearly made me cry.
Yeah, that was rough. Is it the part where they're all laying down?
Uh-huh, and discussing their names. Yeah.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yep. There's a good chance I'll be seeing that before we record again.
Yeah, it's rough. But yeah, and then, like, game-wise, I mean, I think that there's been some stuff that's been popping up that I've been wanting to check out. There's a game called Lakeburg Legacies that's in its demo phase that I think is really, really cute, if anybody wants to give it a shot. But yeah, pretty excited about stuff.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Casters Guild. Email us at castersguild@gmail.com. Let us know what else you're excited about and you want to hear us talk about, or if your door gets kicked in by the Pinkertons, because we will make sure to get your name out there. Jesus Christ, I can't believe that actually happened. Check us out on all the socials. Check us out on Discord. We're always talking about cool stuff there. And we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye!
Bye-bye!
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye! Bye.